Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be doing a tutorial for making this watercolor painting. These are mostly watercolor roses. It's very easy for beginners as well, not very difficult. We'll be making this whole painting along with the leaves and the lettering today. So let's get started. First, coming to the supplies that we would require. First of all, you need a piece of paper. This is watercolor paper from Bristol. It's 100% cotton and cold pressed. Second, you need watercolors. Okay, I am using the Prima Tropicals palette today, and this is a swatch sheet for the particular palette. So these are the colors. I'll be using one of these colors. This is a combination of hibiscus and pineapple shade. This whereas is a combination of pitaya and I think pineapple. And here again, these three colors I have combined, these four colors I have combined to create different variants. And the green is the parrot green and a combination of palms and coconut. Okay, so let's get into the video. The brush that I'm using today is the Camlin watercolor brush size 10. It's a round brush. You would need a glass of water and a scrap cloth for cleaning your brushes. Okay, so first of all, clean your brush and keep it aside. Okay, so now if you've seen in our painting, so it has a middle portion which is kept blank for the lettering code, and we have flowers on all the sides. So let's first get started with creating this. So what I have done, I've used an random lid and drawn a circle from a normal paper and cut it out. Okay, next you would need to adhere it to the paper right here, okay, at the center where you want it to be. So I'm using washi tapes for it so that it'll be easier for me to remove it later on. So I'll take some 4 strips. 4 or 2 strips good enough. So I'll just take it, fold, stick it and fold inwards at the edge. Okay, I will keep it at the center. I hope this is the center. Okay, we can always change the positioning. Yeah, I guess this is the center. Okay, maybe a bit more to the top. I have seen many people drawing the circle and then using washi tapes to define the circle, but I don't know how they do it. I just can't get the circle right, so I'm using this method instead. Okay, so now that you have put your paper, we are ready to go with the painting. So we'll first go around at the circle and paint these flowers, and then going to fill the space over here with the rest of the flowers. Okay, so I'll keep this particular one here for reference. Okay, and let's get started. Wash your brush with water, pat dry. Take just a teeny little bit of water and let's start mixing the colors. So I'll be using the yellow shade which I mentioned. I think the shade name is pineapple. Okay, I'll dab it here. Okay, I'm mixing the red as well, the hibiscus red. Okay, so right now I have yellow in my brush and I'm taking a bit of red at the tip alone. Okay, red at the tip, and I'll go about to paint it. So as you can see, this paper is kind of, like it comes out. So when you're drawing painting around this area, just keep your fingers right here so that it is tight, and whatever strokes go, it shouldn't go inside of the circle, it should go over your paper that you have kept. Okay, so I'll go to paint 5 flowers over here around. Okay, so that it looks symmetric. So I'll go about with some small strokes here at the center. This gives the illusion of a bud at the center of the rose. Okay, and as I go outwards, I'm mixing bit more water to dilute the shade. Okay, now that was the second one, and for the third and last one, I have almost washed out all of the color and this has water. So see, this is what I was talking about, it should go over. Okay, so don't come this way, instead you can go from this side, okay, from the paper to this side. Otherwise there is more chance that water is going to get inside, water or the color. Okay, now at the edge I am going to give a petal kind of illusion, not exactly like round as I have done here. So I'll just give a bit more petal sort of illusion, and that's it, we're done with this flower. We'll come back again to add some strokes, or we can add it right away. It's a bit wet right now, so what I'm doing is I've taken a teeny bit of paint at the tip and I'll go in with the strokes. So this will spread on its own since it is wet. Okay, right, so I think that's enough for this flower. So what I have done here is I have given different colors of flowers instead of taking just one color. So this is orange shade, this is pink purplish shade, and this is more of red and orange, this is yellow orange. So I'll alternate with the shades here. Okay, so just adjacent to this I'll go with the pink shade. Okay, so I'm mixing a bit of pink right over here. Okay, I'm taking a bit of concentrated pink, and not exactly pink, whatever is the shade, like I think the shade name is pitaya here. Okay, so this is the only shade that I have in my palette. I could have taken another one, but I just don't want to have so many palettes. So this time I'm starting the swirls right over here. Okay, now add a bit of water and go around. See, you can see that this is more diluted, and again I have washed off more of the color, and now I'm going from the paper to the outside, paper to the outside. Now I'm creating some sort of petal sort of shapes here instead of just going about with a flat round. Okay, so the thing is like when you finish your flowers and when you take out this particular paper from here, so this outline will be more visible if you don't have space here. Okay, so there's a gap between these two flowers, so here since it's too wide, the circle is not shown very vividly. So what I'm trying to do with my painting is that I'm going to like place the flowers close to each other so that our circle looks very the first layer of flower. Now we'll going with filling these empty spaces with flowers. So what I generally do is just check how much space is left and decide. Okay, so this corner can accommodate a flower, here another one, here another one, here maybe not, like maybe half flower. Okay, so this will be for the illusion that there's a flower here and you are seeing the edge of the flower, so you can randomly add some shades here and there. Okay, so now we'll just go into these layers and add some more defining lines inside before we start with the leaf. Okay, so I'll take the orange shade for now, dip it into a bit of water, and let's go inside of this. Okay, so I'll define, I think I need a bit more color. I'll define the center. Okay, I'll be using more thinner, closer strokes, and as I move outside I'll be using thicker strokes. Now I'll add more water like previously and just extend your strokes, right? Okay. I think the flowers are done and we can dive right into the greens. So wash your brush thoroughly and start preparing the greens. So I'll be using this green. I think the shade was called Parrot, and I'll be mixing palms and Parrot to get the different gradients of green. So what I generally do is add lots of water and dilute the shade. Okay, but before I go into it, I make sure that I wipe my brush so that there's not too much water, but I have the color at the tip. Okay, so generally I start with longer leaves so that I fill in most of the spaces. So I'll start out from here. Okay, I think I need a bit more color. Okay, so I'm going with thin strokes that resemble the stem, okay, till here, and then I'll press my brush and lift. Okay, this is one side of the flower, one side of the leaf. For the other one, I'll go in with thin strokes to define the other side. Most of the time I try ending my leaf with a thinner stroke so that, I don't know, somehow it adds some kind of beauty to the leaf. So that's it for this leaf. Let's go on to the next one. So generally I start filling out the leaves from the corners or the edges or the gaps between the flowers. So let's fill in some more. So wherever you feel that your leaf does not end here, you just have to create a boundary here so that the illusion comes that the leaf is actually going under to this particular flower. Okay, and like this. See, that's the tail of the leaf. I don't know, somehow it looks nice, right? Even though it's not very realistic, but still, yes. So another one, I don't want to always keep having the leaves emerging from the middle because it will look like a symmetric mandala, as I said before. So I'll just create some variations by adding some leaves from the sides, sometimes from the middle. So I guess that's it. Now we'll go into the next set of leaves, which are the shorter leaves, and we'll be filling up more of our space with these smaller leaves, and I'm using a different color so that it pops out. So here I'll be using the shorter version of the leaves, and most of the time I try to paint it in a set of 3 so that it doesn't look exactly like the other ones, right? Okay, so I can add a bit of leaves right over here. Generally, another trick that I do to define the edges of the flowers is to paint the leaves this way. Okay, so this is like the leaves are popping out from the back, and I'll just define the edge like this so that now you can see the edge of the flower very clearly. So I guess we're done with the leaves. Now just check if all the area is covered in a symmetric fashion. When I look right now, I feel that there's a lack of the green shade at this side. There's more of the new green on this side, so I'll try to balance that out by adding a bit more of leaves with this new shade of green right there, and maybe here. Okay, I think the job is done on this side. Another trick that I usually use is once everything is dry, almost all the leaves are dry right now, so I'll mix the green color in a very light way. Okay, this is really light, and then I'll use it to draw some leaves over here. It's like totally invisible sorts because it's very light, but still it will be like, you know, a different sort of leaf, and different gradients still filling in the empty spaces, which doesn't look very odd otherwise. Okay, let's open up and check if we need to define the outlines. So now we can open this and see the circle is very well defined except for a few spaces where there's gap. So what I'll do is I'll wash my brush very nicely because there might be some hints of green, and then mix your shades, all the 3 shades, okay, whatever you were using, and then dilute it very nicely. Okay, this is the diluted version, and I'll just randomly go to define the circle here. Okay, I think that was like more than enough. There was only some gap over there which got filled, and it looks really nice now. Okay, so this is what I'm planning to write. Better days are coming. So I practiced this on a random piece of paper with my brush pen. I've used the pencil one. So let me recreate the same with a pencil first, so that we can go ahead with writing with a pen. I hope that it looks nice when I write with pen. Okay, fingers crossed, and let's start. I don't know if this is good or bad, but I'd like to believe that this is decent. Let's just have a quick recap of this one. So what supplies that we have used is the Primer Tropical palette, and the shades that we have used right now is Pitaya, Papaya, Sunset, Hibiscus, Parrot, and Island. And the pen and the brush that we have used is the Pentel brush pen and the Camlin round brush size 10. Let's try erasing so that we can just wind up this video. Oh, I forgot to draw the lines for the T. Thank God I erased right now. Now we can just rectify that. Okay, and whatever mistakes you have with your lettering, you can always come back and draw. Your lettering will always be beautiful no matter what mistakes you've made. See, I thought it was a disastrous effort, but I think this one is better than this one, right? Which one did you like? So comment below and let me know if you like this and if you'd like to have more of such videos. See you next time. Till then, thank you.